Why men always cheat on you, girl. Hello, my name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, are my world. I'm back here with Coach Sharnie, and she's going to be talking to us, and we're going to be discussing today why men cheat, why you are the girl the men always seem to cheat on. Now, this came up from something that I posted on Instagram, and Coach Sharnie, do you have it on you? I believe
I do.
It's
called Tips to Look After Your Husband, extract from 1950 home economics book.
And could you read a few bits and pieces from it for us, please?
Yeah. So one of them is have dinner ready, plan ahead, even, hang on, I've got to put my glasses on so I can actually read it. Sorry, middle age. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal on time. I won't read the rest of it. Prepare yourself, take 15 minutes to rest so you'll be refreshed for when he arrives. Clear away the clutter, make one last trip through the main part of the house just before your husband arrives, gathering up school books, etc. Prepare the children, take a few minutes to wash the children's hands and faces. Minimize all noise. At the time of his arrival, eliminate all noise of the washer, dryer, dishwasher, and vacuum. Some don't greet him with problems or complaints. Make him comfortable, have him lean back in a comfortable chair or suggest that he lies down in the bedroom. Listen to him. Can't really see what that says because there's a bit of flash over it. Make the evening his. Never complain if he does not take you out for dinner or to the something. And the goal, to try and make your home a place of peace and order where your husband can renew himself in the mind, body and spirit.
We had a few comments to that, and
yes, it was quite interesting reading through those comments.
And we came up with the title because, Coach Sharnie, why did we come up with this title? Because what was showing up a lot on the comment section?
So a lot of the women was sort of commenting, he will just cheat on me, or, you know, someone who, if I was that kind of woman, he'd just cheat on me and just leave me, which I disagree with.
Yeah.
A man or a woman, like it can be, you know, some women cheat too. It's not just men who cheat, but your partner will always cheat on you if he or she sees you as a lower status than them. So
what do you mean?
Yeah, so it's when someone, it's usually when someone's a bit more needy or a bit more clingy, you know, always needing reassurance, always kind of wanting to have the relationship validated, or a classic one is, you know, I love you more than you love me, like things like that. So when someone sees you as more lower status in the relationship, that is when they will cheat on you, not because you're a 1950s housewife and you're at home, you know, preparing the kids and cooking dinner and like looking after him. It's not about that at all. It's about whether that person sees you as worthy in the relationship. So if you are always begging for someone to love you, or if you're always kind of like feeling insecure in the relationship and feeling really possessive and jealous, or you're just feeling like you're not good enough, it's more of an energetic thing. You know, you don't even have to verbalize anything, but if energetically you're coming across as not feeling worthy, or you're not feeling deserving of the relationship, that's when someone's going to cheat on you, not because you're at home looking after the kids and making him dinner.
Now, Sharnie, I can hear my angels, because I've been around here, these angel streets. Wow, I can hear them going, BS, 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 BS. I wasn't needy. I was high status. I was the one who had it all, the job, the car, the stuff. And I was the one who, you know, even paid for him to live. And he still, I mean, I wasn't needy, and he still cheated on my behind.
So it can come down to that masculine and feminine energy as well. Like, I know you and I will always bang on about masculine and feminine energy, but there's also sexual polarity in a relationship. So if, say for instance, he's a really masculine guy and you're coming across really masculine, like you're wanting to pay for his way and you're wanting to look after him and all that sort of stuff, that's masculine. You're going to kill the attraction right there. So he's going to go and look for someone who's more feminine, who he feels sexually attracted to, and that comes up a lot in our coaching with women as well, is that, you know, a lot of women are coming across as very masculine and being the more pursuer and the hunter in the relationship, and keeping a man financially and things like that. And I made that comment in Instagram that, you know, there's a lot of women out there who are more than happy to do this, to be on the other side of it and going out and earning the money and having him stay at home. I've personally known women who have done that. The lady who does my nails, her husband is a professional student and she's doing nails and keeping him financially. So, and you know, women seem to be quite okay with that, but for them to be on the receiving end and actually be financially taken care of and being financially looked after, you know, they're not comfortable with that. But that's quite a masculine thing as well. So yeah, if he can see that as lower status as well, that, you know, you're not wanting to receive.
Because you're having to do all of the giving, you're obviously putting in all this work because you're clearly the inferior. And I know and when I say inferior, it's not because you are the inferior, but you are manifesting as the needy one, the one who wants to keep him, who will do anything for him. And this 1950s wife is not trying to do anything to keep him. She's just playing her role. And my kind of thing with the whole conversation was, how is her job any different from a PA? He has to make sure the boss has his coffee at a certain temperature. By the time she moves in, she's got to get his laundry. She's got to make sure that she's the gatekeeper and nobody can see him unless she says. Like, the job of the PA is no different from the wife.
Yeah.
And the paid to deal with. Why get paid to look after her man? Why is that an inferior? Like, why if she's getting paid, if everything she needs, wants, and desires is being provided and she gets money, why would like, a lot of women are quite happy to go off to a boss in the city, you know, some big boss, and literally lick his toes and get lunch and feed him and do everything other than sleep with him, you know, some do. Quite happy to do that, but not for your own husband, and to be able to raise your own kids. I think it's a little bit bizarre. Have this sort of mindset, you know, and like you said, the men don't cheat because you're doing your job. You know, your boss doesn't go yay because you're doing a great job. He does it because you're not doing it, you know, because there's something missing. The only reason he's going to sack is he's not doing the job she's been hired to do.
Exactly.
That's the same sort of thing. I know a lot of women will be sitting here doing, but you're putting the blame on a cheating man on the woman. Like, how is that fair? Would you say?
Yeah, and I mean, as I said too, women cheat as well, and it's for the, you know, I think women cheat for slightly different reasons than men, but the basic premise of it is that there's a loss of respect there. That a woman will see her husband as lower status as well. Like, maybe he's become really feminine and she wants to sit in her feminine energy, so she's lost sexual attraction for him, or maybe she's really masculine and her husband's really masculine as well, and so she's lost sexual attraction, so she's looking for a femme guy. So it goes both ways, and you know, I mean, look, at the end of the day, more women walk away from relationships than what men do. So really, you know, there's the same issues in relationships from the women's side of it as well. Like, but women are just more likely to leave. You know, but yeah, I think like I know there's a really good example here in Australia. There's this really gorgeous football player. Well, he's retired now, but he's really sexy, I think. Anyway, his name's Jimmy Bartell, and he.
Jimmy, thank you.
Well, he was married to a woman who was basically, you know, stay-at-home wife, and she so he retired, and just after he retired, she started a very successful fashion company, an online fashion store, and then she's become a online fashion designer, and she's quite successful now. But he left her because she became successful.
Oh.
He didn't leave her because she was a stay-at-home wife. He wanted the stay-at-home wife. And then he's gone and left her for a woman who is not as attractive, who's not as successful, and he's now looks quite happy in his new relationship. But what I'm trying to say is, a man is not going to leave you just because you're a stay-at-home wife. He's going to leave because there's something wrong in that relationship, and maybe the original agreement that you two made together has not. It's all about communication. Like, he wanted the stay-at-home wife, he wanted the trophy wife, and obviously Nadia that wasn't fulfilling her anymore. Or maybe when he's retired, she's gone, oh well, I've got to go out and make a living now. So the roles flipped. Yeah. It wasn't because she was the dutiful wife at home. So it comes down to what's going to suit the two people in the relationship, and what there needs to be is open communication about what both people expect from a relationship, and being open and honest about that, because I think that's what kills a relationship.
100%.
That's what makes people cheat.
Yeah. And yeah. The thing, right? A lot of the stuff we're going to talk about on this is not popular and is very upsetting to some people. Let me just break it down, right?
Yeah.
We're not saying this because we're like these needy girls who can't pay our rent or, pay our bills. But we're saying this because the science talks, like the facts are on the table. Bottom line is, most men, if they could afford it, would rather women stay home and nurture them, because they don't want to be nurtured. They want and need that nurturing. And a lot of this cheating sometimes is not just sexual, it's because they're looking for a nurturer. Because his wife is working, doing that thing, trying to bring home the money, trying to raise the kids, and he's not getting any loving. He's not getting that loving, because we forget that they want to be loved. They want to be nurtured. They desire kindness and softness and somebody to listen to them and cuddles and all these things. We don't usually see it displayed, but they actually really need it, and they're more emotionally needy than women are, really. Manage their emotions slightly differently. So you'll find that the women who do and are able to attend to them, the housewife, that's why divorces and the rates of divorce has gone so much higher when women left their home, right? Because these girls, yeah, maybe their husband used to have a little bit of an affair on the side, but he never really left her. They raised our grandmothers, because 1950s is our grandmothers, really, isn't it? It's kind of my grandmother. Yeah. And they died married with their kids. Yeah. These were not men that left them for another woman. They may have cheated, but they never left them. So because there was all their needs were really being met at home. So it's sad, but the world has forced, the system has forced women to have to go out and work and have to, because very few men can afford to be sole providers, sadly. Yeah. So we all have to kind of find the modern way of moving forward. But I have to say the 1950s woman had it kind of cushy, personally. Yeah. I was sort of reflecting and thinking, the 21st century woman does the same stuff, maybe not so well, but does the same stuff and works. Yeah. Has to go to work 9 to 5, come home, pick up the kids from nursery or from school, fix their dinner, fix husband's dinner. I've seen it. I see it happen all the time. She still has to play both roles, and I don't see what we're celebrating about that. That's just traumatic to me. I'd rather go do the job and come home and look after me. Yeah.
I think we've just got to get more open and honest with our partners as well about what it is that we expect. Like, I've got a good friend, and her husband's like, I need a full belly and I need sex. And he's really like, he's really honest, but she knows what it is that he wants and needs to be happy in their relationship, and they talk about it, and so I think, but there's a lot of times, like I've got a lot of friends, and I coach women as well, and they're not open and honest about what it is they want, and they sell themselves short, really. Like they'll kind of put up with stuff, and then it's not until they actually get into the relationship and they're, you know, years into it, that they're all of a sudden dissatisfied. And it's like, well, this was going on before you even, this is happening when you're dating. Like, and I think that's where the dissatisfaction comes into relationships for both men and women, is we're not honest with each other about what it is that we want and what it is that we expect from relationships. And so then we let things fester away. And then because we can't talk to each other about things, people just go and cheat. And it's like, you know, let's just get honest and let's just get real. Like, what is it that you want from a relationship? Be honest in the dating phase. Like, if you want to be a 1950s housewife, be honest with that person. If you want to be the one that goes out and works and brings home the bacon, be honest with that person about what it is that you want, and set the expectations early on. Because, you know, when I look at this, the footballer here and his wife, he wanted the girl who was just the housewife. I'm sure there were other things wrong with the marriage, and like, obviously I don't know them personally, but just from everything that I can see, he didn't want the successful businesswoman, power woman. He wants the dutiful housewife, and that's okay. But you know, I don't know if things were discussed before they got married or not. Don't know them personally, but just from what I can see. But then, you know, we've got another TV presenter here who had an affair and left his housewife and married a very successful fashion designer. But he was attracted to her power and success. But when I look at him, he's very femme. And, you know, he's on TikTok dancing all the time and things like that. He's really femme guy. And he's attracted to the businesswoman and the power woman. It's not because his wife was a stay-at-home housewife and who didn't work when she had children, but he, you know, he said, I was really attracted to her success. I was really attracted to the fact that she went to work and that she was accomplished. So obviously he wasn't satisfied with his wife being the housewife and him being the provider. He wanted the provider, and yeah, and I look at him and I think he's very femme. So it's not about, I suppose my point is, it's not about he's going to cheat on you just because you stay at home and look after him. No, there's other factors at play that make a man cheat. And yes, it usually does come down to sexual polarity, but also, yeah, like what it is that he wants, and being able to communicate that. Yeah. And he'll cheat because he sees you as lower status.
Yeah. Well, listen, so the y'all ladies who've been like, yeah, I receive emails from women who every partner has cheated on them, like literally, and no one's that unlucky, boo-boo, you know. Fair enough. In the dating world, even the best of us will meet some guy who just wanted to hit and quit it, like who had no being real, and you are in a vulnerable time in your life and you think, oh, and so, you know, every woman at some point will meet some guy who will cheat. But when the pattern evolving in your life, it happened twice or it happened 3 times, it's because you're showing up in these 3 ways. So so Coach Sharnie just said, it's because you're showing up as low status. You're showing up as the one who is not as important, who is needy, wanting, serving, whether you are the one who goes to work and make sure that he has everything he needs, or whether you are, whatever you're doing, you're showing up in that relationship as a low status to him, or guys are watching to her. The second thing is that you're not communicating your desires honestly. You're just not saying what it is you want. And I know why you do that, because you don't want to be rejected. And the reason you don't want to be rejected is because you've got issues of abandonment that you can figure out on the video that Coach Sharnie and I have just recorded, either uploaded before or after this one, so keep an eye out. Right. And the third thing, Coach Sharnie, was what? I forget, because I got a memory of it. So we've got
communication,
honest communication, low status, and something else. I forget. Never mind. I should write these. But if you've been watching the video, you know what these things are. But definitely, you know, look at those areas. If something keeps happening to you, I love the low status one, because it's so true. You know, if you really look think to yourself, what was the relationship dynamic going on there? Was I the one who wanted him more? Did I show up as that person? And it's sad, but as beautiful, smart, and intelligent as you are, if you show up in a relationship as low status, you give the other person permission to go finding. Now, obviously, you're choosing well. And if you don't know how to do that, you know who to call. Who are you going to call? Coach Sharnie. You're going to call Coach Sharnie or myself, and you can get the link to chingiesworld.co.uk/shop. Go under coaches, and you'll be able to book a discovery call with either Coach Sharnie or myself, and we can discuss your particular issue and what is going on particularly with you. Do not lose out on the opportunity to do so, because we are here waiting for you. So thank you so much, Coach Sharnie. Loved this video.
Thank you.
I will see y'all soon in my next video. In the meantime,
bye.